I was to ask you what an atom looks like, what would pop into your head first? Maybe something like this. Most of you would be able to label this diagram, but what if I told you it was wrong? But it's what we were shown all throughout high school, and yet this is the current atomic model. Confused, I bet. But why is this model so different from the image you had before? Well, it's built off of our prior knowledge. See, to understand a concept, first you must understand information leading up to it. You can't ride a bike without knowing how to pedal. And you can't drive a car without knowing how to steer. The same is with everything we do. We gather and understand simple ideas before we move on to more complex concepts. In high school, you were probably shown this model of the atom, a nucleus consisting of protons and neutrons with electrons orbiting in various energy levels. Each energy level represented by a circular orbit around the nucleus. The higher the energy level, the further away the orbit was from the nucleus. This diagram made it easy for kids to understand, because we didn't need too much information before we could grasp the whole concept. Its simplicity allowed students of various ages to navigate and understand additional concepts that link to the idea of atoms and the atomic world. It's quite easy for us to understand this model, but when we move to the current model, it gets a bit hazy. The reason we have this model is because it's impossible to quantify an electron's momentum and its position at the same time. Because of this, the model has been dubbed with the title quantum theory. This idea was proposed by Werner Karl Heisenberg, and because of his theory, it called for an updated and more accurate model to work off of. We still have energy levels, but instead of showing definite electrons, we express regions of possibility, where the electron could be at each level, maintaining the idea that electrons' positions cannot be pinpointed at one time. A lot more information and understanding is needed to grasp this concept, so it is left off high school chemistry syllabuses and only addressed in tertiary education after the ideas and concepts have been relayed to students there. High school students will almost always struggle with this concept and linking it with others if they were introduced to it too early. To recap, previous models of the atom have been kept in high school syllabuses because students aren't required to understand advanced ideas which will affect their understanding of the current atomic model. Leaving the current atomic model to tertiary education because students have learnt required information before they move to this model and can better understand what is being represented.